So we are continuing the session. In the previous video we understood how to cross the three lokas. Trilok. The first three lokas. Bhu, Bhuva and Suvahalok. Three lokas. How to cross it. We understood in the first video that the first three lokas are to be crossed by using the attribute fire of Agni, not the flame. So Agni is basically having two attributes. Fire, that is to burn, burning all the evil. From fire we also get energy, that is the second attribute. That is to gain more light, to gain more energy. That is the second attribute. So the first attribute, burning all evils, destroying all the defects and resolving all the curses, it is the first attribute of Agni. Crossing the first three lokas. After you cross the three lokas, after it you go to the next three lokas. Okay, next three lokas. Maharlok, Janarlok, Taphalok. Next three lokas. Okay. So we talk about this second aspect now. Flame, giving energy, giving light, destroying the evil, we talked about it. That is the burning aspect of Agni. Giving light is the second aspect of Agni. So the first three lokas, you destroy the bad things. Next three lokas, you add the good things. So when you are going into the path of spirituality, the first thing you do is subtraction and then you do addition. Because if you are in dirty water and then you are keep on adding good water, there is nothing good about it. To do good about it, first you should subtract all the bad and then start adding the good. Okay, so the three lokas, the first primary three lokas, is not achieved by adding something into you, inculcating some good things into you. No. Crossing the first three lokas is very simple. Subtract things which you don't require. The next three lokas is about adding things you require. So the first three is all about subtracting. Subtract the negative aspects. Okay. So we will see the next aspects. That's a very big misconception that you start your journey by adding good things. No, you start your journey by subtracting the bad things. Adding is a very later on process. I will keep this one because we are still on the second path of Agni. I will remove this the cycle. We can understood the cycle of Arpan, Tarpan, Darpan, Samarpan. Okay, that cycle is done. Okay. So the first three lokas, removal of defects and curses. Okay. So we'll start from the Maharlok. Okay. Now let me first okay. So the next two lokas, the first one is Mahar. Another one is Janar. some people call it Mahalok, and don't keep this R, okay? Some people call it Janalok, don't let this R, but we'll keep the R, okay? So, this Mahalok is all about blessings. Okay? And this Janalok is inculcating the blessings. Over here, we call it Shubh Ashish. What is blessing? Blessing is Shubh Ashish. From Shubh, it is fortunate, fortune, or we can also say gains or luck. Ashish is into the head. Okay. So what is this Shubhashish? Shubhashish is the biggest blessing. What is the biggest blessing one can have? The biggest blessing one can have is blessing of a pure mind. If the mind is pure, rest everything else is going to fall into pieces. And if mind is impure, no matter what blessings you are, you cannot handle those blessings, you cannot make anything out of those blessings. Okay, so when someone asks you, what is the biggest blessing? Is it a lot of wealth? Is it a lot of knowledge? Is it a lot of respect? Is it a lot of intellect? No. Because see, everything has some good and some bad. Okay. Let's talk about knowledge. If you have a blessing of knowledge and wisdom, but you do not have the skill of utilizing it, it is worthless. Similarly, you have the knowledge of work, you have the knowledge of skill, but you don't have how to manage things, administer things. Okay, it is worthless. Okay, you have blessings of respect, but you don't have anything else in this world except respect. What would it bring to you? Okay. Similarly, intellect. You have a blessing of intellect, but you don't have a blessing of say companionship. How would it affect? How would it make? Okay. So all these blessings are secondary blessings. Okay. The primary, so if someone tells you what is the biggest blessing, okay, so the biggest blessing is Shubh Ashish, Shubha Shisha. Shubha and Shisha. Ashish is into the head, Shish is head, Ashish into the head. Shubh is purity, gain, fortune. So when the fortune and gains are into the head, that is, if you have a blessing of a pure mind, then it is the biggest blessing. Because it would help you to contaminate the good things. See, in the first three lokas, what we were doing, we were subtracting the bad things. In the next three lokas, we are talking about good things. So what is the primary need of a good thing is to contaminate the good thing. Now, come on, I gave you an apple, a very good apple, but you cannot hold that apple, you cannot eat that apple, you cannot keep that apple. All you can do is to give that apple somewhere else or put it in a place where it becomes decayed, dirty. What good it is going to give? Nothing at all. Okay. So the first thing or the first blessing one should have is Shubhashisha. It is Shubhashish, Shubha, that is fortune, gains and luck. Ashish, Shish is head, Ashish is into the head. Okay. So Purity of mind, blessings of a pure mind is the biggest blessing of all. When you have a pure mind, you enter the Mahalok, the fourth lok. Fourth lok. You cannot enter the fourth lok until and unless you have a pure mind. Because you destroyed all the evils, but your mind is not pure. So what happens? You are continuously attracting all the evils and bad things. Continuously attracting all the bad vibes. Again, bad people are around you. Why? Mind is not pure. Okay. Or you destroyed all the bad things and then somebody gave you good things, but you are utilizing that good things in a bad manner. Again, what is the fault? The mind. So the blessings of a pure mind is the entry gate of the Mahalok. Until and unless you have Shubhashish, the blessings of a pure mind, you cannot sustain in the Mahaloka. Okay, getting my point? So from blessings comes worshipper. Okay. From blessings comes worshipper. From Mahalok, if you want to go to Janarlok. Okay. So what do you do of the blessings? Do you utilize the blessings? You become a worshipper. Okay. So at Janarlok, you become a worshipper. What we call a worshipper? Upasaka. Okay. You become Upasak. Now you can be an upasak of many different things. So Upasak is made up of two things, Upa and Sak. Now there are two different things we can call Sak. See, Upa is above, as we discussed. Upa is above. Now someone also can say, okay, it is divided into Upa and Asak. Asan and Aksa. Okay, that is also one of the derivation of Upasak. I will write that derivation because I myself feel that is more correct rather than this one. This is like I don't know why this is not completely correct. So I will write that. I will cut the word Upasak into three parts. Okay, one is Upa. Asan and Aks. Upa is above, Asan is the seat. Okay. Upa is above, Asan is seat. Aks is essence. Essence of soul is called Aksa. So what is Upasak? Upasak is someone who is also called worshipper. In English we call it worshipper. So see, from Mahalok to Janarlok, how do we reach from Mahalok to Janarlok? See over here. From Mahalok you get get blessings. Okay, so the basic funda of sustaining into Maharlok is to get blessings. Okay, now you got blessings. Now if you want to cultivate your blessings and contaminate your blessings, that means if you want to keep your blessings coming on and you want to utilize the blessings, you must have a blessing of a pure mind. So the best blessing you should ask is for blessing of a pure mind, purity of mind. Now at Maharlok, what mantra is to be done at Maharlok? Now I would not say mantra, but if you want the blessings of a pure mind, you need to do the Rudri Patha. Okay, a complete Rudri Patha. You need to do complete Rudri Patha at every moon cycle, twice every moon cycle. And how do you know when you should do it? See, Maharlok is all about Rudra. Rudra is mind. Cleaning the mind. To clean the mind, you need Rudri Patha. Now, the perfect time to do Rudri Patha is whenever there is a Karak Tithi. See, there is a difference between your Tithi and your Karak Tithi. The Tithi on which you are born is the phase of moon when you are born. Okay. Suppose moon is over here. Suppose moon is over here, and at that phase you are born, and this is the earth. Okay, so over here you are born, and moon is over here. That is your Karak. That is your Tithi. Okay, but say for example, sun is over here, moon is over here. Okay, and you are over here. Okay, so you take the center of sun and moon. And whatever Tithi falls on the center of sun and moon is called your Karak Tithi. So at the time of your Karak Tithi, twice, that is on the Shukla Paksh and the Krishna Paksh, you have to do Rudri Patha. This will give you a blessings of pure mind. Because mind is nothing. What is Rudra? Rudra is pain. The basic essence of pain is your mind. The reason of pain is your mind. See, there is, biologically speaking, pain is understood and known till amount. After your body can withstand pain or say understand pain, if pain increases from more amount than your brain can understand, okay, then you won't feel pain, then things are going to go numb. Things are going to go numb. For example, let's talk about intense pain. Okay, somebody is having some brain hemorrhage. Okay, so during a brain hemorrhage, what happens? During first 7 minutes, your body is in intense pain, like you cannot withstand that pain. But after 7 minutes, the pain increases from a certain level from what your brain can comprehend. Now your brain cannot know how to react with this type of pain. So you won't feel pain. You will feel numbness. Things are going to go numb. Because your brain cannot comprehend the amount of pain. So things are going numb. Okay. So when the pain reaches a certain amount, after which the mind cannot comprehend pain, then you go numb. Then the feeling is of numbness. There is no pain. Getting my point? So, what is the main thing over here? The main thing over here is to understand and to know that the basic essence of pain is given by mind. So, when you control the pain, Rudra, the pain, the cry, Rudra, it is everything which is comprehended by the mind. So if you control the mind, if you purify the mind, pain naturally goes away. pain is itself the creation of mind. Pain is itself the creation of mind. Because when the mind cannot comprehend pain, you go numb. What is numbness? Senselessness. There is no senses. The body goes numb. Okay. The body goes paralyzed. Why? Because the brain cannot comprehend what to give output. The brain does not know, oh my God, it is so much of pain, I don't know what to do. How to comprehend that pain? So you go numb, you go paralyzed. Okay. So the basic thing is, pain is itself the creation of mind. So in order to remove pain, in order to remove the Rudan, in order to remove the Rudra, anger, pain, everything of the mind, you need to do Rudripat. To sustain at the Maharlok, at the fourth loka, every 15 days, at your Karakpiti, complete Rudrapat. Okay, it is going to help you to sustain at the fourth loka, and it won't allow you to fall down to the three lokas. Again, otherwise people might reach to the Maharlok, but they again fell down to the three lokas. Okay, they again say, oh, bo, swaha. Sustain at the Maharlok, don't fall down. Why are you falling down? You have reached above. Stay there. Why do you need to go again down? Don't go down. Once you are up, stay at the level. So once you have crossed the three lokas, you need to make sure you sustain at the Maharlok. And for it, you need a pure mind. Because a pure mind can sustain things. Okay. So after after you are getting blessings, okay, now people can utilize blessings in so many various manners. That is why I am talking about pure mind and everything over here. See, I gave you 500 rupees as a blessing. Now some people are going to buy books, some people are going to buy clothes, some people are going to buy watches, some people are going to buy drugs. It is all about the mind, how you utilize your blessings. What are blessings you have? Say for example, I give you an ability of hypnotizing people. I give you an ability of hearing people's thoughts. You can hear what people are thinking. Now what will you do with that blessings? You start manipulating people? Would you start harassing people? Or would you start helping people to clear their thoughts? Because now you can know and hear what they are thinking. So you can know at which place their mind is sticking. So you can either help people clearing their thoughts, because now you can hear their thoughts, or you can manipulate people. It is all upon the mind. So how to use the blessings is all upon the mind. So Rudripat helps you to utilize your blessings and not make a havoc out of it. Now what is the best method of utilizing a blessing? The best method to utilize a blessing is to inculcate the blessing into you. Become a worshipper. You worship that blessing. Everybody worships things. Say for example, I have money, so I worship Lakshmi. So to sustain Lakshmi. If I have wisdom, I worship Saraswati. So I can sustain my Saraswati. If I have energy, if I have all the energy signs, I worship to Shakti, Parvati, so that I can sustain my tantric energy, sustain my energy of the soul. Okay. So whatever the person has, whatever blessing the person is having, one should sustain it. And to sustain it, you need to worship that blessing. Until and unless you worship that blessing, you will misuse the blessing. You will never misuse things which you are worshipping. Okay, say for example, I never gamble. Okay, I never gamble with money. So even if people are sitting and doing some, let's say it's a fun time and they are just playing games with 5 rupees, 10 rupees, I never play with money. Okay, and people might say, okay, you are so boring, but what? I am worshipping the blessings of mine. Okay, I worship things, that is why I don't play with them. I worship things, that is why I don't misuse them. So the basic idea behind worshipping things is to not misuse them. If you keep on misusing things, you are ultimately going to decay it. But if you are worshipping the things, you become a worshipper, then you are not going to decay things, you are going to sustain them. Okay. So no matter whatever blessings you got, see, you are a painter. Okay, if you are a painter, would you like throw your brushes and do all that kind of blunder things? No, a painter will always worship its instruments. A doctor will always worship a knife. Okay. Similarly, some who is teaching spirituality, I would always worship my books. Okay. So, worshipping is sustaining the blessings. Until and unless you worship things, you are going to misuse them. And in order to not misuse them, you need to be a worshipper. So from the fourth lok, that is Maharlok, when you are willing to go to Chandralok, okay, you need to inculcate the blessings. You need to be a worshipper. You need to be upasaka. Okay, you need to be a upasak. Upa, asana, aksa makes upasaka. Upa, asana, aksa, upasaka. Upa is above, asan is the seat, and aks is the essence of the soul. Okay, or whatever the essence of the blessings are. Okay, here we are talking about the soul, that is why we are considering the essence of soul. Otherwise, we can also write the essence of the blessing, whatever the blessing is. Okay, so from Shubhashish, in Maharlok, what is important is the Shubhashish, blessings of a pure mind. But when you are going to go from above the Maharlok, the fourth lok to the fifth lok, when you are entering the fifth lok, you need to be the worshipper. You need to be upasaka. Okay. Getting my point? Very easy. Now, in between there is a process. Okay. The process of being an upasak. Okay, over here, the process. There is a process. Okay. Process of becoming upasak is called upasana. Again, upa, asana. Upa is above, seated. Sorry, above and seated. So you have to consider your blessings above you. You don't have to consider yourself above the blessings. Okay. That is, consider your blessings above you. That is upasana. Why doesn't everyone be a upasak? Why can't everyone be an upasak? Because everyone does not consider their blessings above them. Everybody considers them above the blessings. But over here, we need to do a different thing over here. See, whatever blessings you have got, you have to consider those blessings are above you. Okay, these blessings should be above you. Only after when something is over you, you would worship it. If you consider your blessings are below you, okay, and you are the master of your blessings, okay, no. Your blessings are something that is making you. Okay, it is your blessings that make you. You don't make your blessings. Okay, don't say that, okay, I studied so hard and I have deciphered so many literature, Vedas, Indian scriptures, Egyptian scriptures. I have studied all the things. Like, I don't say like that, okay, I have studied all the Vedas, I am the master of Vedas, I am this, I am that, I am having all this knowledge. No. I am blessed to get an understanding from whatever thing I am reading. So it is a blessing that is making me. I am not making the blessing. Am I making the blessings? No, the blessings is making me. Whatever I am today, I am because of the blessing. See, no matter who you are, okay, you might also be a computer engineer. So do you think that I worked, studied so hard and I became a computer engineer? No. You got a blessings of understanding computer. So with that blessings, you became a computer engineer. You are very good at information technology. That is why you pursued information technology. For example, okay, you don't know maths and I start teaching you mathematics. I start teaching you cosine and sine and everything and you can't understand a word. So does that mean that you are incapable of that? No, it means that you are not blessed with mathematics. You might be blessed with something else. You might be playing flute very well. I can't play flute in this birth. Okay. So, see, one thing that you have to always know is consider your blessings are above you. Don't consider yourself above your blessings. That is upasana. Upasana. Give your blessings a higher seat. Give your blessings a higher seat, higher asana than you. Sit below your blessings. When you can do that, you will become a upasaka. That is worshipper, the worshipper of your blessings. And when you worship your blessings, you will enter the fifth loka, that is Jana Loka. Getting my point? Fifth loka. This is fourth lok, Mahalok. Knowing the blessings. Fifth lok, Jana Lok. Inculcating the blessings, utilizing the blessings, and respecting the blessings so that the blessings are continuous. Getting my point? Let's go to one step higher. Okay. Now, what is the best thing to worship? What is the best thing to worship? Or similarly we can say highest seat. What gets the highest seat in this universe? What is the highest asana? What is getting the highest seat? It is purity of truth. The best thing to worship or the best thing to worship is the purity of truth. The highest seat is the seat of the truth. Okay, so from here, from upasaka, okay, you become a sadhaka. From upasa, you become sadhak. Getting my point? From when you want to go from Jana Lok to Tapar Lok, okay, you need to go to Tapar Lok, okay, the next lok. That is utilizing your blessings. Okay, so this is Tapar Lok. this was the fourth loka. This is the fifth loka. This is the sixth loka. So you reach the sixth loka when you understand that the best thing to worship is the purity of truth. Okay. Upasana of truth. When you do the upasana of truth, from upasak you become a sadhak. Okay. From upasak you become a sadhak. Getting my thing? Very easy to understand. From upasana comes sadhana. From upasana comes sadhana, and from upasak you become a sadhak. When you become a sadhak, you reach the sixth loka, that is the Tapar loka. Okay, it is the place where you utilize your blessings. Okay, this is the place where you utilize your blessings. So what happens in Maharlok? In Maharlok, you are identifying your blessings and sustaining or containing it from the blessings of purity of mind, that is Shubhashisha. From Shubhashisha, you become the process of becoming upasak is upasana. You consider your blessings above you. Okay, when you do upasana, you become a upasaka. When you become a upasaka, you reach the fifth loka, that is Jana loka. At this time, you are inculcating the blessings and you become a worshipper. Okay, upasaka. Okay, now you understand what is the best thing to worship. The best thing to worship is the purity of truth. Okay, and similarly, what is the highest seat? What is the highest asana? The highest asana is of purity of truth. Okay, so the process over here. I will write it somewhere else. Okay, the process of converting yourself. Okay, I will erase this. No, I did this. Okay. Let's say over here. The process of me from upasak to sadhak. This process is called Ijya. Ijya, or you can also say Namasya. That is bowing down. Okay. So the process of becoming a sadhak from upasak is called Ijya or Namasya. Okay, now in the previous session we understood Yajna. Okay, and in this session we are understanding Ijya, and these are two different things. Yajna. This is Ijya. Yajna was sacrifice. Okay, and Namasya is bowing down. And see, these are the two characteristics of Agni. Everybody just knows one characteristic, that is Yajna. From Yajna, you can only cross the Triloka. Okay. This is Trilok અંત આવી ગયું એનાથી આગળ નો જઈ શકો જ્યાં સુધી તમને યજ્ઞનો ખબર હોય ને યજ્ઞ તો બધાને ખબર છે ભાઈ નવું શું છે યજ્ઞ sacrifice. From Yajna you cross the three lokas, first three lokas. Okay, here you will cross three lokas, 1 to 3 lokas. Okay, you will cross from Yajna, you will cross 4 to 6 lokas. See the difference? Everybody knows Yajna, nobody knows Yajna. And everybody just says Namasya, but Namasya is the short form of Yajna. Yajna and Namasya are one and the same things. Okay? Yajna is different from Yajna. To go down to Asya, that is truth, is called Namasya. Okay? Over here I will say Namasya is to go down to truth. Truth is Asya. Namah is to going down. So Namasya is to go down to the truth. That is Namasya. Or in one word you can also say Yajna, that is to go down. Okay. Now from Namasya we get two syllables. One is Namoha and another is Namaha. Namaha. Namoha. See the difference? Namaha and Namoha. Namaha is giving you just Namo is giving you Tejas. Namah is Vishnu. Namo is Shiva. Getting my point? Now people will say, okay, we don't say Om Namo Shivaya and we don't say Om Namah Narayan, because as we all know, Shiva is the worshipper of Vishnu, Vishnu is the worshipper of Shiva. So when we worship Shiva, we do not use Namo but we use Namah. Okay, because Shiva wants us to worship Vishnu, Vishnu wants us to worship Shiva. So whenever we chant the name of Shiva, we add the syllable Namaha. Om Namaha Shivaya. Om Namaha Shivaya. This Namah in the mantra of Shiva is the Vishnu. You are donating your Vishnu to Shiva. At that time, Shiva is liking you. Okay, similarly, this Namo syllable is Shiva itself. So when we say Om Namo Narayana, okay, at that time, this Namo is Shiva. You are donating your Shiva to Vishnu. That is why Vishnu will like you. Okay, see, this is a very deep concept. Deep but very accurate. This syllable Nama is actually the syllable of Ojas. So this Nama is nothing else but Vishnu. Okay, and this Namo, okay, it is the Tejas, and this Namo is nothing else but Shiva itself. Getting my point? So when we say Om Namah Shivaya, we are giving our Vishnu to Shiva. Okay, we are sacrificing our Vishnu to Shiva. We are giving our Vishnu to Shiva. That is why Shiv is happy with us. Why? Because we are giving Shiv his favorite thing, that is Vishnu. Okay. Om Namah Shivaya. Okay. Similarly, Namo is Vishnu itself. So when we say Om Namo Narayanai, okay, we are giving our Shiva, we are giving our Tejas to Vishnu. Vishnu, the favorite thing of Vishnu is Shiva. So we have to provide Vishnu with Shiva and we have to provide Shiva with Vishnu. We have to give Ojas to Shiva and Tejas to Vishnu. Okay, that is why when we chant for Vishnu, we add the syllable Namoha. Om Namo Narayana. We are giving our Shiv to Vishnu. Oh Lord Vishnu, I am giving you my Shiv to you. Please give me some Ojas. Om Namo Narayana. Okay. Similarly, when we are using Om Namah Shivaya, oh Lord Shiva, I am giving you my Ojas. I am giving you my Vishnu. Please provide me with Tejas. Om Namah Shivaya. Okay. See the difference. Vishnu wants Shiva. So when we chant about Vishnu, we provide Vishnu with Shiva. We give Vishnu Namoha. That is Tejas. That is nothing else but Shiva. We are giving Vishnu Shiva by chanting Om Namo Narayana. Okay. I am giving you my Shiva. O Vishnu. O Narayan. I am providing you with my Shiva. Please give me Ojas. Om Namo Narayana. Okay. Similarly, when we chant Om Namah Shivaya, O Lord Shiva, I am providing you with my Vishnu. I am providing you with my Ojas. I am giving you my Namah. O Lord Shiva, please provide me with Tejas. Okay. Om Namah Shivaya. Getting my point? Very deep logic, very deep thinking. So when we say Om Namah Shivaya, O Lord Shiva, I am giving you my Vishnu. When we say Om Namo Narayana, O Lord Narayan, I am giving you my Shiva. Because both the parties want the opposite thing. They worship each other. It is like, okay, I have bread with me. Okay, let's take a very layman example. Okay, this Shiva is bread and Vishnu is butter. So if I have butter, I have butter, okay, and if people are going to come to me with butter, okay, go take this butter, take this butter, take this butter, give me bread. How can I give them bread? I don't have bread. I have butter. Vishnu has bread. So what happens? When you go to Vishnu, you have to give him butter so that he can give you bread. He has extra bread. So in order to get bread, you have to go to someone who is having butter, extra butter. So that person is going to give you bread. Okay, see, Vishnu is having bread, Shiva is having butter. You want both, bread and butter. The mixture of bread and butter is your life. When Shiva plus Vishnu merges, you are living. So what happens is, if you have bread but if you don't have butter, what will happen? If you don't have butter and if you have bread, what will happen? So when you are going to Shiva, you don't have to go to him and give him butter. He is already having a lot of butter. He wants bread. He is having excess butter. You are not having butter, but you are having excess of bread. So what you do? You go to Shiva. You give him bread. Okay, I have this extra bread. Please take my extra bread. Please give me butter. Then Shiva is going to give you butter. Now Vishnu is already having extra bread. And he doesn't want bread, he wants butter. He gives butter, he takes bread. Okay, so it is the opposite thing. Both are, one is bread, another is butter. If you go to bread person and ask for bread and give him bread, what is going to be better? No, he won't take it. Okay, I have so much of bread, why would I take it? Give me butter, give me Shiva, I am going to take Shiva. You give me Shiva, I give you Vishnu. You give me Vishnu, I give you Shiva. Don't ask for both of the things. Okay. For both of the things, we will study something else further. Okay. So basically, we got 2 points. That is Yagya and Ijya. Yagya is the fire attribute of Agni. Ijya is the flame attribute of Agni. That is the light. So basically, Yagya is removal of evil and ijya is sustaining the good. Okay, I will write it over here also. Removal of bad and sustaining of good. See the difference? We need both. So in order to cleanse your Agni, you have to do two things. Yagya and ijya. Yagya and ijya. Yagya and ijya. Yagya is for crossing the 3 lokas. Ijya is to crossing the 4th, 5, 6 lokas. Okay. So the process of being a sadhak from upasak, that process is called ijya or namasya. That is to go down. This is the correct method to go down. When you are going down to Vishnu, you are giving Vishnu Namaha. Sorry, we are giving Vishnu Shiva. That is where you go down to Vishnu. When you are going to Shiva, you have to give him Vishnu. That is why we say Om Namah Shivaya. Got my point till now? Now, what is one common thing between Yagya and Ijya? There should be some common thing, right? What is the one common thing? What you must have in order to do both of these things, Yagya and Ijya? What is that single most important thing? Shraddha, that is faith. Because faith is something that can also destroy the evil, and faith is something that can also sustain the good things. Okay, I have faith that all the evil things would be burnt. I will do yagya, I will do sacrifice, I will sacrifice all the bad things in my life, and I have faith. I have faith that I can sustain the good things, I will have the good things, I am capable of having the good things. So faith is the only thing. See, hope is not that thing. Sanskrit, there are different words. Asha, apeksha, akanksha, manokamna, ichha. Okay, all these words are not Shraddha. Shraddha is totally different thing. Faith. Shraddha is faith. So the only thing that can do both the things, that is ijya and yagya, sacrifice and bowing down, that is Shraddha, faith. That is why we can say faith can break boundaries, faith can break barriers. If you have faith, things will happen. There is nothing in the universe more stronger than faith. Nothing. Okay, because see, there is a difference. So, the one thing that can do both the functions of Agni is Shraddha, faith. Okay, got my point till here? We have reached the Tapa Loka. Now let's go some deeper into faith. Okay, I will erase the things because I would need a clear board, new flow chart. Still, we have not completed the first hymn. Okay, we have completed the around 7 sentences of the first hymn of Rig Veda. We are into 8th, 9th sentence. Okay, now I hope everyone understood the process over here. Okay, let's talk about faith. What can faith do? Faith can do wonders, right? What's the time? Oh my god, 1 hour, 55 minutes went. Good. Faith. Now let's write a heading of faith. We reached over here to faith. Okay, from Tapolo. At the Tapolo, we are at faith. Okay, so let's write Shraddha. Now faith is used to guard. Why do you use faith? You use faith to guard and to achieve. Okay, so the two basic things for faith is Raksha and Moksha. Okay. What you have to do with faith, what you can achieve with faith, and what you should do with faith. Okay. Now one is the attribute of Yajna and another is the attribute of Ijya. Okay. This is the attribute of Yajna. This is the attribute of Ijya. See the difference? From faith, what you have to do? You have to do the safeguarding of faith. Over here, what you have to do is to safeguard. And over here, what you have to do is to provide. Why to provide? There is a deep science behind it. Many people don't understand. Even the very big tapasvis are not understanding the fact is the moksha is not to be got, moksha is to be provided. Okay, I'll coming to that. Okay, that which burns sustains purely. That which burns sustains purely. Okay. That which shines stays eternally. See the difference over here. Raksha and Moksha. Raksha and Moksha. Okay. This is again the factor of Ojas and Tejas. Okay. You have to continuously increase your stage. Over here, you have to continuously radiate your ojas. Understand the fact. Again, a big controversial thing I am going to say now today is from the two factors, from the four factors, that is dharma, artha, kama, moksha. The two factors, that is moksha and artha. Both these factors are to be provided. They are not to be increased, they are to be given. You give meaning to someone else, you give reason to someone else, you give someone else a purpose of life, and you will have a purpose of your own life. You give moksha to people, you will get moksha. Give bliss to someone else. That is why the four planets of moksha and artha, that is Venus, Moon, Sun and Mars, are not to be kept but are to be radiated. A very deep science. I would guarantee very few people will know it. I didn't find any one person talking about this correctly. Everyone is talking about this in a false manner. Everyone. Till date I have not found any single person who is talking about moksha correctly. What is moon doing? Moon is increasing the shine? No. Moon is taking shine from the sun. It is taking the light from the sun and it is giving you from the sun. It is radiating the light, reflecting the light. What is Venus doing? What is Venus doing? Is Venus like Jupiter? Venus is not increasing like Jupiter. Venus is small contracting thing, which is very small. It is love. It is affection. Moon is mind, peace. What you have to do with love, peace and affection? You have to take love, peace? You have to take affection? You have to take peace? No. The best thing is you have to give peace to others. You have to give love to others. You have to give affection to others. So, you have to take moksha. How to get moksha? To run after moksha. The best way to take moksha is to give moksha to other people. And your gateway to moksha is always going to be open. Similarly is artha. You give meaning to someone else. You give meaning to someone else's life. You make purpose. You give purpose for someone else to live, and you will have a purpose. Who is the Lord of Artha? Sun and Mars. Do you think Sun is taking light? Sun ખેંચે છે light? નથી ખેંચતો, દિયે છે. It is the giver. The giver of light is Sun. You have to give. Mars, what happens when you keep your heat inside you, thermal energy inside you, anger inside you, rain inside you, will burn. So if you see people with very big Mars, they are continuously radiating heat. Their thermal energy is very high because they are radiating. Okay. So, don't have to take, you have to give things. In case of moksha and artha, only dharma and kama you have to take. Dharma and kama you have to take. Moksha and artha you have to give away. Only then it is the rightful balance. Nobody is teaching you this. Forget about any pandit, any sadhu, any guru. Nobody is teaching you this simple funda. I have not seen a single video in the internet, single piece in somebody's transliterated work, somebody's spiritual work. I have not read a single piece of book who is teaching you this simple phenomena that two things out of dharma, artha, kama, moksha are to be given and two things are to be taken. કોઈ ભણાવતું નથી, કોઈને સમજાતું નથી, બધા દોડે રાખે મોક્ષ પાછળ દૂર, અર્થ પાછળ. અરે ભાઈ, અર્થ ને મોક્ષ બીજાને દેવાના છે. ધર્મને કામ પોતાને કરવાનું છે ત્યારે બેલેન્સમાં આવશે બધું. ઓકે, that is why I say Nyaya Sutras of Gautam Rishi are very important. People are not giving importance to that work. Very important work. Lord Shiva taught it himself. Do you think it is a worthless piece of shit? So all those who are doing astrology, okay, they might be knowing this fact. Okay, over here is Dharma. Over here is Artha. Over here is Kama. Over here is Moksha. Okay. This thing you have to take and use a different pen so that people will never forget this thing. There is chaos in the world because nobody knows this thing. બધાય ચારેય વસ્તુ જોઈ છે એવું નથી કરવાનું. બે જ વસ્તુ લેવાની, બે દેવાની છે જીવનમાં. બધું લઈ જ લેવું છે. એવું કાંઈ નથી. This is karma, you have to take dharma. This is kama, you have to take kama. This is artha, you have to give artha to someone else. Okay. Moksha, you have to give moksha to someone else. Who are the ruling planets over here? Venus and Moon, Digbal Jana. Over here, Jupiter and Mercury. Over here, Sun and Mars. Over here, Saturn. છે આવું? આ એરો કોઈ નથી સમજાવ્યા જીવનમાં. Two things you have to add in your life, that is dharma and kama. Two things you have to give in your life, that is moksha and artha. આમ જાય છે એરો. આમ આવે છે. See the difference? You have to increase, take dharma from people. Okay, now see the direction. Okay, what is this house? This is the house of family. Where you have to give moksha, where you have to give Venus and Moon. You have to give Venus and Moon to your family because this is the house of family. This is the house of home. Okay, so where you have to give moksha, you have to give moksha to your family. Only Venus and Moon is deserving moksha, that is your spouse and your mother. Okay. What is this place? This place is the place of society, the place of respect. Who you have to respect? Son, that is your father. Society, you have to respect the society. Mars, what is Mars? Your brothers. Okay, Mars is also righteousness, Mangala. Okay, what you have to do in the society? You have to fulfill your purpose. Okay, so you are giving your purpose to the society. You are giving your respect outside. Sun khechta no, you are not running after your respect. You give respect, you will get respect. As simple as that. You give respect, you get respect. You give sun, you will get sun. Simple as that. Okay. Similarly, Mars. You do good for others, others are going to do good for you. મંગળ કરો, મંગળ થશે. સિમ્પલ વસ્તુ છે. મંગળ કોઈ દી અમંગળ હોતો જ નથી. તમે મંગળ નથી કરતા એટલે તમારું મંગળ ખરાબ છે. બીજા માટે કરો એટલે તમારું મંગળ સારો થઈ જાય. Easiest way to increase your Mars or purify your Mars is to be selfless. Until and unless you are selfish, your Mars is bad. If your Mars is bad, you are a selfish person. So see the earth. This is the house of society. Okay. So you have to give respect to the society. You have to do good for the society. You have to give earth. You don't have to pull earth. You don't have to take sun and take Mars. You have to radiate sun and radiate Mars. Sun is continuously radiating heat and light. Mars is continuously radiating the thermal energy. Okay. That is why it is red in color, infrared. Okay. Both these planets are radiating. Yes, they are radiating. See over here, Venus and love. You have to take love? No. You give love, you will get love. You want mental peace? Give peace to people, you will get mental peace. You give love, you give mental peace, you are going to get mental peace, you are going to get love. That is why this is the house of family. Okay, you have to give your love and affection to the family, and you have to give mental peace to your family. Getting my point? So these two things are to be given out. આ દેવાનું છે, લેવાનું નથી ભાઈ. મોક્ષ પાછળ નથી ભાગવાનું. તમે મોક્ષ બીજાને દો, તમારી ફેમિલીમાં જે છે ને એને તમે મોક્ષ આપો એટલે તમને મોક્ષ મળશે. તમારે મોક્ષ લેવાની જ નથી. મોક્ષ તમારે તમારા ફેમિલી વાળાને દેવાનું છે. સિમિલરલી ઓવર હિયર અર્થ, તમારે અર્થ પાછળ નથી ભાગવાનું. યુ ડોન્ટ હેવ ટુ રન આફ્ટર યોર પર્પઝ ઓફ લાઈફ. Go and fulfill the purpose of other people's life. It is your purpose of life. The purpose of every soul is to fulfill the purpose of other soul. Nobody teaches this simple Hindu phenomena. Fulfill the purpose of other souls and you are going to fulfill your purpose on this earth. તમે અગર કોકના કાર્મિક ડેપ્ટમાં છો, if you are in somebody's karmic debt, karmic fault, you complete that karmic debt, karmic fault. You are out of that karmic bondage. So what you need to get out of the karmic bondage? You fulfill the purpose of that person. Getting my point? So you have to give moksha and artha, and you have to take dharma and kama. Now see Jupiter. Jupiter is selfish. એટલે બધું લઈ એટલે મોટું થવું છે. Jupiter always want to get bigger, expand, evolve, because Jupiter is the taker. Okay, so now right, make a two columns. Okay, who are takers and who are givers? કોને જોઈ છે કોને દેવું છે. Okay, so see givers and takers. Who are takers? Jupiter is taker, yes. Mercury is taker, yes. And Saturn is taker. Who are givers? Sun is giver, Mars is giver, Venus is giver, and Moon is giver. Getting my point? So basically, if none of the planets are in retrograde, you have to increase your Jupiter, increase your Mercury, increase your Saturn, but you always have to radiate your Sun, Mars, Venus and Moon in order to get good result. This is a fact, a very simple fact. No astrologer is following this simple rule. Okay, if you make people wear these four gemstones, the gemstone of Sun, Mars, Venus and Moon in the opposite hand, they are going to be the best givers. જો તમારે કોઈને sun પહેરાવો છે, you make someone wear sun, a male person wear sun in the right hand, okay, and he might get respect, but he would again, if you are getting sun, you are not getting Venus. So as soon as he will get respect, he will not get Venus. His family life will go away when the person is going to wear sun. The social life will increase. If the person is going to wear Venus, his family life is increased, social life is not going to increase. Because these two gemstones are to be worn on the opposite hand. If you are a male, you have to wear these four gemstones in the left hand. Nobody is teaching you this. Parashar, Gemini. Who was another thing? Some Brahma, Rishi or some whoever it is. Nobody taught you this. From where they are getting all this knowledge? They are Brahma Rishis. They must have some Brahma Yoga in their chart. From the Brahma Yoga, they must be having the yoga to get knowledge or self-realization from the source itself. Why can't they teach the simple thing? There is a simple thing. These planets are givers. You have to make them wear these planets in the opposite hand. Okay. So I am challenging you. Until and unless see the planets are in retrograde or they are in what you say exactly, they are aspecting the opposite house. But see, there are some exceptions. But until and unless for male, you have to wear this planet on left hand. For female, you have to wear this planet on right hand. For male, you have to wear this planet on right hand. For female, you have to wear this planet on left hand. Exceptions are there. That again depends on the chart, okay, but exceptions are there. This is a basic rule. Nobody teaches this basic rule, okay? Because nobody knows this. બધાય ચોપડી વાંચીને સમજી લેવું છે, but every knowledge, all knowledge is not in the books. Some of the knowledge you need to meditate to get knowledge. બધી વસ્તુ ચોપડીમાં નથી લખેલી, તો બધાય વિદ્વાન હોત, બધાય બ્રહ્મ ઋષિ થઈ ગયા હોત. બધું ચોપડામાંથી મળતો જ ને જીવનમાં. તો ચોપડા વાંચી વાંચીને ભણાવેલા, બધું ચોપડામાં છે જ નહીં. સેલ્ફ રિયલાઇઝેશન હોવું જોઈએ. મેડિટેશનમાં બેહો, રોજ દિવસની 8 કલાક મેડિટેટ કરો, સોર્સમાંથી નોલેજ લઈ આવો. એના જેવું કાંઈ નહીં. ઓકે, so we understood this yagya ijya concept. Okay, so I was talking about moksha. All this katha I did because to understand moksha. Okay, this is you have to provide moksha to other. Okay, see, that is why I have written ijya is to provide. You have to provide moksha to other people. Okay, similarly raksha, this moksha and raksha, moksha, raksha, moksha. One who is guarding is called mokshak. One who is providing is called mokshak. Okay, this is yagya for safeguarding the. Okay, safeguarding you need raksha. You have to safeguard your faith so that your faith is not destroyed by someone else. Like some people are going to come with all the logical flaws and logical details to me, and they will tell me, okay, see this logic, this is how you should do, this is how you should do, this is what. Oh, no, I am safeguarding my faith. I have raksha on my faith. My faith is telling me this is right. This is right. This is 110% right. If you are coming to me with 10 oppositions, you give me 10 days. You let me meditate for 10 days. I will give you a solution to safeguard my faith and tell you that this is the reason, this is the solution. Don't ask me current, like, okay, I am debating and I am giving you opposition that this is not true and this is true. Okay, you give me an opposition, give me 5 days, let me think, let me meditate on it. After 5 days, I am going to come to you and explain you how this is what and this is what. If I found you that, okay, something about your faith is also right, I will merge my faith with your faith. Okay, that is safeguarding, raksha. You have to do raksha of your faith. It is my faith. મારે મારા બુદ્ધની રક્ષા કરવી ને. See, faith is nothing but mercury. Higher the mercury, higher the faith. તમે જ્યાં સુધી તમારા ફેથની રક્ષા ન કરો ત્યાં સુધી કોકનો ફેથ આવીને તમારું ફેથ બગાડી જવાનું છે. It is just simple as that. So always safeguard your faith. Your faith is always right, but the reason of your faith might be wrong, because reason won't be mind. The mind gives the reason. So the reason of your faith might be wrong, but your faith is never wrong. If someone questions your faith, it is a wrong thing. But if someone questions the reason of your faith, then you can think about it. Then the person can be right. So the questioning the reason of the faith is okay, but don't question somebody's faith. Okay. So one thing which is important is to safeguard your faith. રક્ષા કરવાની, પોતાની શ્રદ્ધાની રક્ષા કરવાની. મને આ વસ્તુ પર શ્રદ્ધા છે, આમ જ થાય છે, આમ જ થયું છે અને આમ જ થાશે. At some point of the time, some people are always going to argue, give you 10 reasonings. Okay, hear the reasonings. Meditate on these things. After 5 days, give some counter reasonings of your faith. Okay. Don't never haphazardly give reply or response to someone else. કાચબો શું કામ 400 વર્ષ જીવે છે? કારણ કે શાંતિથી જીવે છે. 8 મિનિટ એક શ્વાસ લે, 4 મિનિટ રોકે, 8 મિનિટ કાઢે, તઈ 400 વર્ષ જીવે છે. હેપઝર્ડલી કાંઈ થવાનું નથી જીવનમાં. જેટલું તમે ઉતાવળ કરશો ને એટલું તમે જીવનમાં પાછળ આવશો. ટેક યોર ટાઈમ. If you take your time, you are taking Shani. If you are taking Shani, Shani is always going to reward you. સમય હંમેશા તમને રિવોર્ડ આપે છે, કાં તો પનિશમેન્ટ આપે છે. સમયનો ઉપયોગ કરો છો, દુરુપયોગ કરો છો, એ તમારા ઉપર છે. So take time. Time is always going to reward you. So this is about Raksha. You have to do Raksha of your faith. Safeguard your faith. For Raksha, what you have to do? You have to do Yagya, sacrifice. Sacrifice yourself. Somebody tells you something, okay, sacrifice your ego to become right, to be on the higher stand, to be on the upper stand. Sacrifice your need to give reply, responses. Okay, sometimes if you think the person is not going to understand, okay, cool dude, you are right. Let me think over it. At that point of time, sacrifice yourself. Sacrifice your tattvas. Do not become Indra. Indra nahi bani jawan. You become Indra. You are in control of your senses. Everything dies down. There is no Raksha. Raksha goes away. You want Raksha? Control your Indriya, senses. Okay. And of moksha, I told you, that is to provide. So when you safeguard your faith, okay, you become a tejasvi person. તમે તમારા તેજની રક્ષા કરો છો. કોઈ બીજું લઈને જ જાતો તમારું તેજ. Don't go and flow into somebody's words. Some people who are having good mercury, they are having a very good convincing power. Doesn't mean you have to get convinced from them every now and then. A person who doesn't get convinced from anyone, but if he is convinced from his own faith, is a tejasvi person. You can see that on the forehead of a person, and you should not argue with that person. Okay, even see, there are many tejasvi persons more than me. I accept their tej, they accept my tej. So when we are talking, we are just distributing ideas. We are not pushing ideas on each other. એકબીજા ઉપર આઈડિયા થોપવાના ન હોય, ભાઈ હું આમ વિચારું છું, તું આમ વિચાર, હું આમ વિચાર, તો એવું ન હોય. મારો આવો વિચાર છે સંસાર પ્રત્યે, મારો આવો વિચાર છે સંસાર પ્રત્યે. ઓકે, તારો આવો વિચાર છે, તારો તેજ અલગ છે. You are shining with green color. Wow, I like your green color. Okay, see, I am shining with red color. You like my red color? See the difference? You don't have to say, oh, see, green color shine. You don't have to be green color shining. You have to be red color shining. See, like me, you should shine red color. He will say, okay, like me, you should shine green color. Why you are shining red color? No, this is wrong. This is the ultimate dispute. ગુરુવાળા લોકો આવીને શુક્રવાળા લોકોને કહે, ઓકે, શાઇન લાઈક મી વિથ યલો કલર, બી big big. ઓકે, શુક્રવાળા લોકો જઈને ગુરુવાળા લોકોને કહે, શાઇન લાઈક મી વિથ વ્હાઇટ કલર, બી સ્મોલ બટ બી ધ શાઇનીએસ્ટ. બસ બાઈજે રાખો, એ જ વસ્તુ. બી લાઈક શિવા. ઓકે, રિસ્પેક્ટ શુક્ર. That okay, you are white, you are shining at evening and morning. Wow, you have very good shine. You are the shiniest. Wow. Oh my God, you are Jupiter. You are very massive and you are having yellow shine. Wow, I also like your yellow shine. So learn to respect different colors. See, earth is made of rainbows. You have to accept different colors of people. You have to accept different vibes. Why do you want people to get inside your vibe? Okay, I am Guru, you be Guru. I am Shukra, you be Shukra. I am Surya, you be Surya. Why? Second thing, some people are also Bhakshak. A worst from Rakshak, they are Bhakshak. How Bhakshak? See, for example, my Jupiter is not good, but my Jupiter is giving benefit to someone else. So that person is knowing that, okay, my Jupiter is going to give benefit to them. So, but it is not going to give benefit to me. So what they will do, they will come and tell me, okay, increase Jupiter, increase Jupiter, increase Jupiter. Why? Because me increasing Jupiter is going to benefit you. So I should increase Jupiter, even though my Jupiter is not good. Come on, then you are Bhakshak. Total Bhakshak. મારા જુપિટર થી તને ફાયદો થાય છે એટલે મારે જુપિટર વધારવાનો. વાહ, આ કેવો ન્યાય? Okay, so this is where Raksha comes. You have to safeguard your faith because there are many Bhakshaks. કોકના શુક્રથી મારો ફાયદો થતો હોય તો એને એમ ન કહો કે તું શુક્ર વધાર. મને ખબર હોય કે એનું નુકસાન થાય છે તો ના પાડો, ભાઈ તું શુક્ર નહીં વધાર. તારા શુક્ર વધારવાથી મને ફાયદો થાય, તને નુકસાન થશે. આ ક્લેરિટી દેવો જોઈએ. તો that astrologer it doesn't give you clarity. This clarity is very important. તમારા કયા planets. See, the first thing which an astrologer should tell you is that which planets of yours are helping you and which planets of yours are destroying you and helping someone else. I saw a chart and I have to tell the person, okay, see, if you increase your Venus, it is going to help you. If you increase your Jupiter, it is going to help other people. You have to explain those things. Without explaining those things, you are giving them, okay, you also increase Jupiter, also we increase Venus, so that you also do good for me and you also do good for you. You are a selfish person. You are again a bakshak. Okay? So, it is very important to safeguard your faith. રક્ષા કરો તમારા શ્રદ્ધાની. તમારા શ્રદ્ધાની તમે રક્ષા નહીં કરો તો બીજા કોઈક લોકો એનો ભોગ લઈ જશે, ખાઈ જશે. Okay? So don't let other people be bhog of your shraddha. So the one thing you should do is raksha, safeguard your faith. When you safeguard your faith, you become tejasvi. Tejas, you increase your tejas. Getting my point? Similarly, see moksha. Moksha's ijja is to provide. You have to provide moksha to other people. લેવાનું નથી. They are again bhakshak. Bhakshak cannot be rakshak and bhakshak cannot be moksha. એ તમને હારું આપીએ ન કે કોઈ દી અને તમારું હારું કરીએ ન કે કારણ કે એને પોતાનું જ હારું કરવું છે. That is why they are bhakshak. They are not rakshak. They are not moksha. તમને ના તો સારું આપે છે ના તમારું હારું કરે છે, તમારી પાસે હારું લઈ જાય છે. How mean? Okay. So for moksha you have to give. આખી કથા કરી મોક્ષકની તમે અર્થ અને મોક્ષ દેવાની વસ્તુ છે, ધર્મ કામ લેવાની વસ્તુ છે. ઓકે, સો ફોર રક્ષા you have to safeguard your faith, sacrifice your needs. Okay, and you have to continuously increase your tej. Over here you have to continuously radiate your ojas. That is why this is the giving thing ને પ્રોવાઈડ કરવાનું છે. સૂર્ય વધારે ક્યારે ચમકશે? જ્યારે વધારે ઊર્જા ખેંચશે? નહીં. સૂર્ય વધારે ત્યારે ચમકે જ્યારે વધારે ઊર્જા આપે. When will sun shine more? When it will pull the light? No. Sun is shining when it is giving more light. When you get more affection, when you give more affection. તમે કોઈને પ્રેમ આપતા નથી, એની પાસે પ્રેમ માંગી રાખતો, ક્યાંથી પ્રેમ મળશે? You give more affection, you are getting more affection. Mars, you are radiating your rage, you are getting more rage. You are controlling the rage. Other people's rage are being controlled. Getting my point? So, ojas is always about radiating, giving or providing. Okay, and tejas is always about increasing your tej, increasing your light. Say Jupiter increase કરવાનું, Mercury increase કરવાનું, Saturn increase કરવાનું. બીજી ચાર વસ્તુ તો ડિક્રીઝ કરી છે ને, આપણે રેડિએટ કરી છે. જેટલી દેશો એટલી વધારે મળશે, જેટલી બચાવશો એટલી વધારે રહેશે. That is tejas. This is ojas. Getting this point? We are at the tapalok. At the tapalok we are understanding all these things at the sixth loka. છઠ્ઠા લોકમાં તમે બેઠા હોય ત્યારે આ તમને ખબર પડે. That is why many people don't know this. They are still wandering in the first three lokas. ચોથા પાંચમા સુધી પહોંચ્યા જ નથી. બસ આયનું જાણી લીધું, બીજાને ભણાવવા માંડ્યા. ગમે હોય, ગમે માથું 50 ચોપડી હુકામ નથી લખી. તમને કેટલી બુક્સ લખી છે એનાથી તમે અંદાજ ન આવે કે માણસ ક્યાં પહોંચ્યો છે. તમારું ઇન્ટેલેક્ટ કેટલું છે. 50 ચોપડી લખી છે, એને વસ્તુ સમજાવે છે જે બીજા 50 જણાએ સમજાવી છે. શું મતલબ? When your Mercury is strong, you are taking knowledge from the source. You are giving new knowledge to the world. જે knowledge already પડ્યું છે એમાંથી તમે સમજાવો છો. Then you are a guru. You are not a Buddha. Buddha is the messenger. Guru is just a preacher. ગુરુ તમને ઈ ભણાવશે જે વસ્તુ ઓલરેડી છે આયા પૃથ્વી ઉપર. બુદ્ધ તમને ઈ ભણાવશે જે વસ્તુ ઈ સોર્સ માંથી સેલ્ફ રિયલાઇઝ કરીને ધ્યાનની અવસ્થામાંથી લઈને તમને આપે છે. જે વસ્તુ હજી પૃથ્વી ઉપર નથી ને ઈ વસ્તુ લઈ આવીને તમને ભણાવે છે. ધેટ ઇઝ બુદ્ધ. જે વસ્તુ ઓલરેડી આયા છે ઈને એ વસ્તુ તમને ડિટેલમાં ભણાવી રાખે છે. ધેટ ઇઝ ગુરુ. Okay, that is the difference. That is why Guru might be bigger, but it is not near the sun. Mercury is near the sun because it is pulling the knowledge out. From the Mercury, which is the knowledge is pulled out, that is given to Guru to extract. Okay, so Mercury is ahead of Guru. Guru આને જે પડ્યું છે ને વિજ્ઞાન જ્ઞાન એ તમને સમજાવે છે. બુદ્ધ જ્ઞાન લઈ આવે છે, નવું જ્ઞાન લઈ આવે છે, એ તમને સમજાવે છે. મહત્તા સમજો દરેક પ્લેનેટની. Okay, and we are at the last shloka now. Last shloka. So understood this faith, Shraddha, Tejas, Ojas. Okay, समझी क्या? यज्ञ युज्य. Silent erase it. I am जी है ना? मैं nothing ना. Okay, so at last, the last two lines of Agni, I am again going to make a big table of Agni over here so that you can understand the two characteristics of Agni very well. Okay, write Agni over here. Agni. From Agni comes two things: fire and flame. This is burn, to burn down. This is to give light or energy. Okay. And this was Teja. I will write over here Tej. Tejas. This is Ojas. Okay. You can also write this is for purification. This is for vitality. Okay. For purification from first lock to third lock. Pela third lock. Over here from fourth lock to sixth lock. Okay. The father of this Tej and Ojas, they are two sons. Okay, these are sons. કોના sons છે? અગ્નિના sons છે. Getting my point? So at this point we are concluding the first hymn of Rigveda. કેટલું સમજાયું મેં તમને? આટલું સમજાયું, ખાલી આટલું સમજાયું છે અત્યાર સુધીમાં. કેટલું બાકી છે? આટલું બાકી છે. આટલું સમજાયું. આટલા સમજાવવામાં કેટલી વિદ્યા મળી આપણને? કેટલી વિદ્યા મળી? આ વિદ્યા તમને ગુરુ સમજાવે ને તો એટલું જ સમજાવે છે. લખેલી છે. Buddha is getting knowledge from the source and explaining it to you. Knowledge which is not currently in the place of this Mother Earth. Extracting the knowledge from the source. Okay. So this was the first hymn of Agni. Agni na two characteristics of Agni is to fire and the flame, to burn and to give light and energy. The two sons of Agni are Tejas and Ojas. Okay, Tej and Ojas. Okay, Tejas, Ojas. Tejas is all about sacrifice or yajna. Ojas is all about bowing down, that is ijya. Okay, from Tejas comes purification, from Ojas comes vitality. Tejas, purification. When you are pure, you move from first lok to third lok. Bhuvalok, Bhuvahalok and Suvahalok. પેલા ત્રણ લોક ને ક્રોસ કરવું હોય ને તો પ્યોરિફિકેશન જોઈએ. After crossing the three lokas, you reach to the fourth lok, Maharlok, then Jaharlok and then Taparlok. Next three lokas ને ક્રોસ કરવું હોય ને તો vitality જોઈએ. Purification થઈ ગયું એના પછી vitality જોઈએ ને તો બીજા ત્રણ લોક ક્રોસ થાય. Okay, so the two aspects of Agni is purification and vitality. What we understand in the first hymn of Rig Veda is to how to cross 6 loka. 6 લોક ને કઈ રીતે ક્રોસ કરવું. પહેલા ત્રણ લોક ને પ્યોરિફિકેશન થી, અગ્નિના પહેલા છોકરાથી, બીજા ત્રણ લોક ને વાઇટાલિટી થી, અગ્નિના બીજા છોકરાથી, તેજસ and ઓજસ. Getting my point? I hope everyone enjoyed this session. In the next session we are going to learn about the second hymn of Rig Veda, that is Vayu. And જેવું deep session હશે, might take 2 hours or something, but I would try to charge my battery so that it can go off in one go. Okay, thank you very much for joining me and hope everyone liked it. Thank you. Yes. For more info, go into www.vedicvedanta.com, subscribe my channel, and if you want to get complete study sessions, or if you want to understand the Vedas completely, I will be handling courses of around 1 year or so. Please join me and get into Vedic Vedanta. Thank you very much. Get in touch. Also for personalized astrology, log on. See you around.